welcome to this brand new episode of Newsmakers, the show where we bring to you spectacular personalities and their success stories from various walks of life. Because at Newsmakers, we really aspire to inspire you. My dear lovely audience, as you all know, I'm your host Simran, and today I'm sharing this stage with yet another dynamic personality. He is a young entrepreneur, he's been a globetrotter, he's been across the world, and he's working diligently for the society, for the sustainable world, and there is so much to learn from this young entrepreneur. We have with us Mr. Vimarsh Verma, who is the Director Operation of Spray Engineering. A very warm welcome to you, Vimarsh.
Thank you so much, Simran ma'am. How are you doing?
I am doing superb, and it's such a great honor to have you here.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Vimarsh, I would like to start, I've been addressing that you're a young entrepreneur.
Sure.
And you started your journey very young in life. You started earning young. And of course, there's a lot that you have done while you've been in your young journey. Please tell us all about that.
Started working with Spray quite early on, even when I was pretty much right after high school. After 12th grade, dad was like, what are you going to do? Sit at home, at least learn some practical skills. So, ended up at the job. Didn't understand much, but at least understood, some basics of what, we were working on. And I'd always been inspired by my father, seeing, how hard he used to work, because all my life I've seen him run this business along with the rest of our family, of course. I was always inspired by him and by the rest of my family. And then, the work that I did before I was leaving to study out into the States when I was 18. So that, stuck. And, that was always a part of the education journey as well. And I think that, really drove into me that, had to at some point come back and, be a part of this journey. It's been, the potential is there. So, it's been a great experience overall with Spray.
Oh, wow. So, you said that you traveled abroad. I've also addressed that you've been across the world, you've studied abroad. And usually when we see that, we see that kids going abroad and they never plan to come back. But what is the great thing is that you've come back and you're also, managing the legacy that your father has built. Please tell us what made you come back here.
So, I believe, there was always, there's a saying about people who go abroad, especially people who go when they're early, in young.
Yes.
Young is the right word. That, you become more of what you are when you're there, with what you originally are. So, Indians, for example, living in the States become more Indian. You enjoy your Bollywood more. You enjoy that little samosa a little more.
Yeah.
So, you're that part, you yearn for that part. And I believe that, of course, I always knew, I was going to get an engineering background, which I did I studied for 6 years for that. Post which I realized that, I had that option of taking that cushy job that, you can easily have you have 2 degrees from the States. You can easily have a cushy engineering job and, lead a happy, easy life there. Or, of course, you can come back, face a few hurdles and challenges of settling back in and be potentially part of a journey that takes you, to a certain other level. So, I think the potential, the drive and the yearning, of course, for the samosa, overall that brought me back. And I believe, of course, there are times, you question the decisions, you question, should you have come back? But, circling around, every time I get up, I'm like, yes, I made the right call. I'm very happy that I made the right call. And I'm really glad to be being able to being part of the journey for Spray, and as, in general, as an industry leader, trying to spread sustainability. I think there's so much work that we can do. I think there's a potential to do great work in India.
Superb. It's such a great thing to have youngsters like you who've come back in here. I would like to address to all the young people who are watching this show that, when, of course, you would like to go abroad, study abroad, there's a lot that you can learn. But coming back to your roots is one thing. And of course, if you can work for your own, society, why not take the step like Vimarsh did? Now, I know, and you've been boosting about this, and I know you're running the legacy your father has built. Spray engineering. Please tell us all about that and why does it stand out?
Of course. So, Spray, we are an engineering company. We are a very heavy R&D based company. We try to develop technologies, sustainable technologies in India, for India and for the market, for application in India. We're not in the, what really sets us apart is we're trying to develop sustainable solutions. We're trying to help industry move on from legacy based systems running on fossil fuels, doing carbon emissions, polluting the environment, to running on cleaner energy. All our solutions run on clean energy. We work across segments. We set up factories such as sugar processing distilleries, wastewater treatment plants, chemical plants. But application areas are multiple, but the idea for us is to make everything sustainable for us, for the environment, and to make this fiscally better as well for the industry. So the idea is to make industry cleaner, more profitable, and more sustainable. So essentially we're trying to ensure that industry takes a leap of 30 years very quickly.
Wow.
And in doing that, we have to make it easy for the masses, and that's what we're really trying to do. Similar to, what other countries have done, we're trying to follow that roadmap. And what the role that China has been taking in the last 10, 15 years, we're trying to follow a similar roadmap and make sustainability the norm, not something that people are afraid of.
So that's what makes you stand out from
Correct.
what others are doing.
Correct.
That's so wonderful. Now here we also know about this, one of your projects called a smart village model.
Right.
Now what is it all about? Can you just take us through the journey of this as well? What is
Sure.
it all about?
I'll give you a little context in this. So another big field that we work on, we believe, is energy. Now, energy in general is India's biggest import. Coal, oil, gas. These are our three largest imports right now in terms of energy. Now, that is the only thing that makes us dependent on the outside world. Other than that, we are a very sustainable country ourselves. We can rely on ourselves. As an organization at Spray, we believe that the solution for this is available inside the country. Right now, what we do, for example, Delhi, the problem with parali burning, the stubble burning.
Correct.
Similar vein, we have a lot of other organics that are available that are basically left in the farm and left to waste. All of this can be recovered and converted into higher grade of energy. There are technologies that are available to collect all of this biomass and essentially make, for example, ethanol, which is right now being used for petrol blending. So we can make fuel out of things that were actually just burning and wasting away. So that is a part of the Spray Village, where we are trying to make decentralized villages, where we're trying to set up, let us say if we have 10 decentralized villages in an area, all of these 10 plants collect all of this organics, they process all of this organics, and we take it to a central facility and create, for example, ethanol out of it, which is a low-grade fuel, but we can go as high as sustainable aviation turbine fuel, which can be used to drive all your aeroplanes. The same thing can be used to make plastics. It can be used to make other amino acids. So we're trying to basically create value out of things that we are literally burning away and creating a problem for ourselves. So the solution is in the problem itself, and that we believe that these decentralized spray villages, where we're basically, the masses are responsible for collecting all of this, and they become a part of this value chain from waste to fuel. So we're trying to decentralize and find a solution for a problem that already exists.
All right. So now hearing it all about, your focus is like, spray village.
Right.
And we've often heard you saying that, if you're looking for any problem, the solution lies in the village.
Correct.
What is the philosophy behind this?
So in a similar vein, like the village, of course, we can do great work by collecting organics. A very good way that we recently wrote a letter to the PMO, and the PMO very kindly responded on this as well. A few days after which, the ministry also posted a guideline towards solar. So solar, the big problem is land. Solar is available, solar is becoming cheaper by the day, and it is becoming quite accessible. The problem is land. What happens is, it is very difficult to find, let us say, a huge pasture of land in a single go where we can generate a lot of solar and help the industry, or us as well as as domestic use. What we can do though is, let us plan a village out, or let us say plan even a city. For example, let us say we're sitting in Noida, let us say a sector of Noida. If all of these individual households are connected to the solar grid by having their own panels, decentralizing out all of this, so they are generating their own electricity and they can sell it out to the government. This can all be collected by the government in the grid and then be sent out for usage elsewhere. So you become a part of the value chain. Decentralizing it and making everyone a part of the value chain is what makes things easier. That is the same thing we're planning with the SED village, where the problem is parali burning. We educate the people We are able to get people on board, and we show them the value in actually bringing out, in collecting all these organics, we are able to generate value for them. So when, for example, we are selling sustainable aviation fuel out of a centralized plant, but all of the material has been generated by the lower chain, by the chain at the back end, by the decentralized villages, they become a part of a value chain. They earn a percentage of a profit of the sustainable aviation fuel that we are manufacturing.
Okay.
Imagine they were basically getting nothing. They were basically having to burn all of that. Instead of that, they are being a part of something, being able to create fuel. So you are essentially, what you're doing is you're making everyone in the ecosystem a part of it. Once you bring everyone into the ecosystem, once everyone starts to get educated, that is when society moves forward. Industrialization does not move society forward. Making everyone a part of the value chain and making everyone educated in that value chain really moves the country ahead. So that is why we're always insistent on the spray village.
That's a superb thought when you say that it's just not one person, it's like the chain
Correct.
gets benefited from them.
Correct.
But do you have any success story where you've really helped the rural community
Absolutely.
in this?
Absolutely. So a part of this processing, when I talk about processing, what are we processing? Like, for example, what we do, we work a lot in the sugar industry. What we're doing is we are manufacturing sugar cane. We're manufacturing sugar. So we manufacture, right now we manufacture jaggery. We have made these plants that run on electricity. So we basically take sugar cane and we're basically manufacturing jaggery in a very sustainable manner. So we have manufactured very small jaggery plants that can be set up one for one village each.
Okay.
As a decentralized level. Now at a decentralized level, the village now has a single facility of its own where it's manufacturing this. All of the farmers who are making sugarcane in the area collect all the sugarcane and bring it to this facility.
Okay.
Usually in the sugarcane factory, all of the biomass that is generated is used to run the boiler. It is burnt and it is used to run the boiler. In our plant, we don't do that. We save all of the biomass. All of the biomass can either be used for in converting it into ethanol, which is still a little far away. But right now, what it can be done is can be used to make craft paper. Bagasse-based paper is always existed. So all of the farmers become a part of the factory. They're basically members. They have it's like a cooperative. You're a part of you have a share in the profits. You're saving on all of this biomass, which you're selling is an added value chain, and you're making jaggery, which is an organic material, superfood. It is going to become huge. So they are becoming next gen entrepreneurs. They are a farmer is now selling organic jaggery. That is what we're looking for, farm to table. That is what we're looking for. We're trying to increase their earnings as well, and we're trying to put them ahead of the game. Where now they become a part of this value chain. Now they're producing jaggery. The next step is going to be producing sustainable aviation fuel from the biomass that we have saved. So the ecosystem we're trying to develop already. Step 1 is already done. Step 2 is on the way. So as soon as step 2 is done, they will be able to increase their earnings even more. So the idea is we've already done step 1. They're starting to understand the value of, being a part of that value chain. So maybe in the next 5 years, we'll be very close to that step 2. And what we will see is these very large plants, which are now very unviable. They were made like 30, 40 years ago. They will become obsolete very quickly.
That's such a superb thing specifically for the farmers that, of course, I'm not sure if they will be able to see the show or not, but wherein people like us, of course, they generate this knowledge to them, and of course, the way spray engineering is working, I think I'm really, really impressed because you're so very thoughtful of the people who's staying there and, of course, generating them and, of course, making them entrepreneurs, which is, like when I see that farming is one trade, or what do you call this, one profession, they bleed somewhere. They bleed it. They're not being given that that right platform. Still we see that the farmers are not at the right platforms that they should be.
Correct.
But anyhow, if you're working great, and I really would like to say that 5 years from now they will also have another project to work on.
Absolutely.
Now moving further, of course our country is also, and of course it is very, very much talked about, which is the zero liquid discharge.
Right.
Now this sounds really impressive because we know that that's the need of the hour.
Yeah.
We would like you to also tell us that how is it It's Spray working on it,
Hmm.
and does it help to reduce pollution
Yeah.
specifically from industrial waste?
Okay. So industrial waste is another very big segment that we work in. We started working around 10 years ago. My first project was working on zero liquid discharge, and now I work very heavily in this field. So I've been lucky enough to go around the whole country. I think I visited probably like 500-600 different factories now, of different types: pharmaceutical, tanneries, textile, every kind of industry. So what I've seen is, and what I've observed is, the one big challenge is the discharge is so varied, it is very difficult to tackle at a central level. Decentralization, like we did with the smart village, is the solution for this as well. The wastewater, if I focus on wastewater, which I primarily work on and have more experience on, wastewater is very varied across industries. For example, if I have, let's just say I go to Hyderabad, I go to a pharmaceutical facility. Pharmaceutical facility A, pharmaceutical facility B. Both will be producing the same, let us say paracetamol as an example. They will run the same operation, they will have the same machine, they will have the same water. The discharge coming out will always be different. It is always very varied, it is very typical, and there is a lot of variation. And what the mistake I believe that we have been making is we're trying to collect all of this and trying to make an umbrella solution, which does not really work. So which the government has been now pushing: zero liquid discharge. You take water in your factory and you give out only clean water. You
Okay.
treat your water inside your factory and give it out. And that is the only way of treating this correctly. Now, it is a little more expensive to do, but in the long run, it makes a lot more sense, because what ends up happening, these common facilities that have been set up fail. And what ends up happening is the factories that are giving to these common facilities end up setting their own setup in any case, because the CETP, or the Common Effluent Treatment Facility as it is called, is not able to take the water. So these decentralized solutions are the only way forward, in which I really support the government, in which they have been pushing this. Now what Spray is doing in this as well is, a lot of times these effluents are very difficult to treat. They require a lot of chemicals. They require a lot of fossil fuel burning as well to treat, because you require evaporators that require steam. So you need a boiler as well. What we're trying to work on, and we've achieved a lot of success in this, is we are now giving solutions that run only with the use of clean energy. You need some very basic chemicals, such as nitric acid, caustic, which are very regular, not bad for the environment at all. We also have, we just take then clean energy and take all of the effluent, regardless of industry, be it your craft paper manufacturing, be it your, let us say, potato veggies manufacturing, be it your mining industry, or be it your electroplating industry. All of the water can be treated using the evaporator solutions that we have done, and these evaporators run on electricity. Now, this electricity is going to be generated from clean sources, and the rate of this electricity is slowly going down. Right now it is average 8 to 10 rupees a kilowatt. We are expecting this to go to 1 kilowatt. Even analysts are saying 1 rupees a kilowatt is possible with the renewables. Once that happens, wastewater, which is looked at as a liability, because everyone thinks I have to spend money to do this, so it is a loss for me. Once electricity also becomes cheaper and everyone is running on these clean energy solutions, the cost of treating wastewater will become absolutely zero.
Wonderful.
We are even aiming, in certain industries we also do this thing, we recover valuables out of wastewater. For example, I have clients where we are recovering certain salts for them, which they use back inside. So instead of being a liability, that becomes a profit center for them. So what now at Spray we're trying to work towards is to generate, not only is to make wastewater treatments cheap, but to create value out of wastewater, so that we're able to recover some value. For example, salts are there, organic materials are available, some solvents are available, oils are available. We want to extract these and give back, so that wastewater treatment becomes easy, and also we generate certain value out of this. So that is the aim in wastewater. In air, it is the same problem. It is again, decentralized solutions are not going to work. We have to, the only way air pollution will reduce is if we stop fossil fuel burning. That is the biggest challenge. That is, of course, what we're working towards across industry, to get rid of boilers. Our plain and simple mandate by our MD, my father, he has given a single mandate: we are going to shut down the boiler. It does not matter what industry we work in, we are going to shut down the boiler, find a solution. Plain and simple. We've already done it in distilleries. We have done the first distillery in the world that does not have a boiler. We have done sugar factories that do not have boilers. We do wastewater treatment plants and chemical facility plants that do not have a boiler. That is the only way pollution is going to go away. Shut down every damn boiler that is in existence in this country. And it is a journey. It is not easy. Certain industries will require it still, but we have to find more reasonable solutions that run on electricity. So
So now when you say that even no waste is a waste,
yeah,
while you were like from the wastewater also you're trying to extract something
yeah,
which can be good for the environment.
yes.
Now here when you talk about air again,
Hmm.
it is you're working on something which you say it's far-fetched, but how soon that we can have that we don't use the boilers?
So it depends on industries. So low temperature applications are doable today,
Mm-hmm.
which I believe encompasses on an average maybe 75-80% of all applications. So that is even possible today. The only little bit of work that is left, I think we also need to do this, and industry also needs to do this, is how to apply it correctly there.
Mm-hmm.
So the generic solution is available. We just need to apply it correctly. And I think tinkering, teething issues, all maybe a couple of years in, all of these are replaceable. Some very high temperature applications, such as maybe your pyrolysis, you have your smelting in the iron ore, you basically heavy furnaces, 800, 900,000 degree applications. Those might take a little bit of time,
Mm-hmm.
and even if they stay, all right, at least we've gotten rid of 90% of the problem. So we're trying to focus on volume, the low temperature applications, which are the most. And regardless, even if I don't do it or the industry guys don't do it, our company does not do it, industry will have to move on to it, because fiscally it is becoming very expensive to run with fossil fuels. So even if we don't work on it, someone will work on it, and they will have to find a solution in the next 5 years. And as I'm saying, 90% of the solutions are already there. It is just that we are a little, scared, nervous when it comes to, applying new technologies. But once, let us say, for example, an industry leader like Reliance does it, then everyone will follow suit. So it is about, who takes that first step. And wherever, let us say, in whichever industry, once some industry leader takes a step, all of the industry will follow right behind.
Correct. Correct.
Correct.
So one has to take a step, and I'm sure it
Yes.
could be Spray who's taking the step, and people will follow. Maybe you're the next Reliance,
Hopefully.
you're the next Ambani that we have
Probably
here.
not, but
It's wonderful to have you here, and of course, learning a lot from you. There's a lot that I've also learned through you now.
Sure.
I know that you've been a leader. You've come, you're young, but you're a leader. You're an innovator. You're doing a lot in the industry already. You've been moving across the world. You're handling your home, you're handling your business, and of course, the people working under you.
Sure.
You, of course, must be visiting villages,
Yeah.
and of course, must be working with
Yeah.
farmers. With that, I would like to know, how do you manage all this? What keeps you going?
A lot of black coffee, of course. But it's just, it's just the passion and the energy that I see. I do, like as you said, I'm young. I like to work with a lot of youngsters. I do travel out a lot as well. Of course, you have patches when you're like you slow down a little bit, and you're like, that motivation and that drive is dying down. And whenever that happens, I'm like, let me go around, the country. Let me go meet people. I like to meet new people. Go to, the smallest of small towns, eat on the roadsides, that 10 rupee breakfast as well, sitting amongst, the everyday people. That is where, that gives you that freshness, that gives back that motivation that, yes, we're doing something for the greater good here. Yes, of course, we're in a business. We're also here to make a profit as well. We want to do good, but we want to make a profit by doing something that is actually good. So it's just that drive, and then of course, having all these youngsters around you, that responsibility, you're responsible for job creation, you're responsible for livelihoods, that always, even on, a Sunday at 2 a.m. That is what keeps you driving, when you have to take that call, to ensure that everything is running smoothly at early in the morning, wee hours of, let's say, a Thursday. You do that because it's a responsibility that drives you. But of course, we're here to do something good. And someone very early on, someone told me, one day that you do not work hard, someone else is working harder to get ahead of you.
Correct.
So every day, take small steps. Rome was not built in a day.
Wow.
Make small efforts every day instead of trying to do a monumental effort one day and leaving it for a month. Small efforts every day.
Superb. That's very rightly said, that small steps are what that we are looking at and we should be working upon. Now that we know that being a leader is not easy,
Yeah.
it comes with its shares of struggles as well. But And also that you also you have to work for people who are working under you for the livelihood of a lot of people.
Correct.
Now, where do you see your company 5 years from now? What is it that you're working at and see that that's my aim?
Right. So, as I said, the biggest thing for us is we are trying to now be sustainability partners to everyone. So, we have worked in certain segments with everyone, but now we have solutions for pretty much everything. We have even made a solution that, for example, the air conditioning of your building, you have these decentralized air conditioners. We have made a setup where in our office we had a very old air conditioning setup. It was costing us, I don't know, like 4 or 5 lakhs a month. It was very expensive to run in the summers. So we were like, we have to do something about this, but we could not even retrofit the office because it was a summer peak. So for us, in terms of workload, summer is very heavy, at least in the corporate office, because all of our engineering is done during that time. So we could not shut down the office. So we were like, what do we do? What we did was we retrofitted the whole system. Now that air conditioning is run by using water. Our air conditioners basically take hot and cold water systems using something called chillers, similar to what are there in malls. But what we've done is we have even connected it to the ground. Once all, basically what does an air conditioner do? It gives you cold air here, but on the back side it will take cold air and give back hot air.
Hot air, right.
Sorry, cold water and give back hot water. That hot water you need to cool down, right? We take all of that hot water, we've pumped around 20 feet into the ground, we pump it through the ground, and that cools it down again.
Okay.
We did that for all of our air conditioners, and we connected our cooking to it as well. All the hot water goes to the kitchen and is used to keep the ovens warm. Our electricity cost went down by 50%
Wonderful.
in the summers. We just did this as an R&D. So we have solutions like these. We come up with these solutions. We see a problem and we're like, what can be an engineering solution to this? So we have these solutions, and that is why we want to be sustainability partners to a lot of companies. We've been very lucky that some of the blue chip companies in India already are doing that with us. So don't want to name a lot of names here, but if you look at our website, you'll see we're working with a lot of MNCs and the top echelons of India. What we're trying to portray there is make us your sustainability partners. We will work on a profit sharing model with you. Any saving that you make on that, you give us a percentage of that. We don't want an investment from you. We will help you get more sustainable. We have the solutions ready. Become sustainable and let us grow together. We are a part of this journey. Let us grow together. So only when us, we're still an OEM. We're still a solutions provider. Actual work is also being done by a lot of bigger guys. So we want to just be a part of their journey. We want to be a part of their profit model sharing, where we are able to help them grow and us grow with them.
You've always had this great intent of, not just earning for your own self, but for the people that you work with.
Sure.
Towards the end, I would like to know an advice from you for all those young entrepreneurs who would like to, and young engineers who would like to be into this sustainability industry.
If you want to work in sustainability, there is a lot of work to be done. I think there's still a lot of misnomers when it comes to towards sustainability. I would just say, have an open mind, be flexible, work on the fundamentals, and just be flexible. There's a lot of misnomers and there's a lot of assumptions that are there in industry. Break free of that. Break free of your own biases. If you do that, you can do whatever. You can do great regardless of industry, but particularly for this as well. And be driven. That's it. Just be driven. There will be bad days. There'll be difficult days as well. There'll be times when people tell us as well that, whatever you do, it does not work. You get that as well. You get those days as well constantly. That's where you have to fight against that, fight, because you understand, you're fighting against the tide. You're trying hard, even though now the government push is there, but it's just that our own inhibitions of our society that is like, this is not going to work. You're fighting against that bias. So you have to be strong. Just be strong, fight the bias with facts, and you'll do wonderfully well.
Wonderful. It was so good to have you here. So much that I've learned through this, and I'm sure a lot of my audience must have learned through this interview. And of course, the kind of energy that you carry, it's amazing. What a great energy, and such a passionate person you are.
Really
It was so good to have you here.
Of course, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vimarsh, and thank you, my dear audience. We've had a great interview. Please go through this interview, learn, and of course, work for it. And towards the end, you've also heard the advice. Keep going and keep doing your work, because you're anyways fighting against the tide. This is Simran signing off, but I promise I will be back soon with yet another dynamic personality. So what you have to do is just stay blessed and stay positive.